Hi, this is Tweek. Today we're going to continue with our beaded cluster ball series by making something short and sweet, snowmen. Supplies you'll need for this project are glass beads. I used 10mm beads and 6mm beads. You'll need jewelry wire, some copper wire, some tiny beads for decoration, a few jewelry findings, and a bead that has a snowman face on it. So let's get going. I've made snowmen in the past, but today's snowman is short and sweet, consisting mostly of 2 cluster balls, a full cluster ball on the bottom, and then a half for his middle, then a decorative bead that I found, and a few other sorts, and he's quick to do, so let's get to him. We start out with the full cluster ball. I need 30 beads for a full cluster. I'm using 10mm glass beads. And I'm going to line them up like I do with the half cluster. I have my guide in front of me as to the sequence as how the beads go in order as I string them on the wire. Now I'm going to zip through this. I've done these quite a few times. But if you'd like to see a demonstration of how to make the full cluster ball, click the link here. So I'm getting these set up. It's a 5, 4, 3, 3, 3. As many times as I've done this, I've always relied on my guide. 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, and 1. So I'm going to get going here. So I'm going to get my wire. I want a bit of wire here because to make a full cluster, you're doing more winding. You need a little more wire. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I'm going to give myself a good couple of feet of it. And here we go. Scissors out of the way for now. Start out with, trying to see if I have enough. I hope I do. 5. And I'm just going to keep right on going, starting right here. And look at that. We have our cluster ball full ball. I used a toenail clipper to get in real tight to that little knot there. So it kind of disappears. Where did it go? That's good. That is the base of our little short and sweet snowman. So next, we would do a half cluster ball. That is the next piece of that. We also have a link to that if you'd like to see it. So I'm going to start putting this little guy together. I'm going to do that with some more wire. Here we go. I want just enough so that my snowman, I can use the wire to hold him together and have a little extra to hang him on the tree or wherever you're going to put this sparkly little guy. Now to start, I want to put a base on here. I'm going to use a bead like the one we just used, one of our 10mm beads. I'm going to use that because it won't go through, so it'll make a nice stopper to hold the whole ornament together. Put him through one of the sides here, not both wires. One wire, put it down to the middle. Okay, now that will blend in with the body. Just look for the even space to come straight across, and he's sitting there nicely. Okay, now I want to use another bead of the same sort, 10mm, because I want to put a little bit of a spacer between these two pieces. Now he's a snowman, so he can be as squatty or as melted or as tall as you want your snowman to be. I want just enough there that now the bead is snug, and we'll add the next part on. These beads are a little bit smaller. I believe these are 6mm, those are 10. So there is the body already of our snowman. Next I take one of the little heads. This is a bead I found in a children's bead kit, and I like the little heads, so I nabbed the kit and took the heads. A little snowman head going on, and that's cute and everything, but I wanted to add one more little thing to make him a little more special, and that's one of these gold findings, gold bead caps that I had. If I can get my hands on it. And what this is going to do is I'm going to put this bead cap in upside down so that the cup is facing up. And now that little finding will fold into that little hole there. And when I put the head back on, it has more of a place to rest. Like a little collar, but you'll barely see it. See? And that keeps everybody secure. Next comes a flat bead, and this will act as the brim of his hat. And then I add a rondelle bead. So I was really just playing around with my beads to make this all work. I went with one that had more of a black tinge to it, so it matches better. That would be kind of like the ribbon on his hat. And then a couple things here. I could either use a bead, round bead, or I could use a pony bead. And I think I'm going to go with the pony bead. There's two ways to handle this. Add this bead on, the hat's done, and then add a crimping bead. Or crimp this now, which is what I'm going to do, and let this pony bead float in over the top. So we take a crimping bead and we come down to the hat. This is just a way of hiding that bead. In fact, it went right through. See that? It went right through this bead here. Well, fine. I'll add another one then. The one below will booster the one on top. Let's see. Yep. I need just enough there to crimp that together. So the rondelle bead is just big enough to swallow up that crimping bead. I'm going to back it off a little bit. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to grab that bead. Okay, and I've got it tight, and I'm going to crimp it. So now it's not going to fall through anymore. And then to hide that, I will use this bead. And what I'm going to do first is take advantage of the pony bead's going to hide that area there. And I'm going to cut this back a little bit because I don't need that much. Okay, so I'm going to take another crimping bead. Isn't it funny that 3 of them spilled out, and that's what I ended up using? Okay, so now this little bead's going to come down here and rest, and I'll take the rest of this wire and push it down into that bead. And then I'm going to crimp it. Okay, so it's in there. Everything's tight. I'm going to crimp that bead. So He's got his little hat. Now I'm going to use the pony bead to hide that spot. Crimp this top, or crimp, just squish it down, let it float through the pony bead. The pony bead just sits there, and he's got his hat. You could stop there, but he needs arms. So let's make some arms. What a cute little snowman. All right, we've got a 4-inch head pin here. And I'm just going to decorate it with, let's see, we want a couple of cuffs on our snowman. And we need a bead for his hands. I like these green ones. They've got a little bit of blue in them. That would represent the hands or the mittens. And I'm going to fill up the rest with these beads here. I'm going to use crystal beads. So let's get some of those off there. And here we go. There's his mitten. There's his cuff. And I'm going to add at least 5 beads. I might go further. So I choose one of these holes here. Try to go opposite of each other. And just work my way through with the pin. I like that. I like the amount of arm that's there for the snowman. I don't want it to be too long. He's going to be waving, so. And then we just repeat on the other side. And it just holds in place. These beads are too big to fall out. Fancy little cuff for a snowman and his mitten. And I have just enough here to put a curl in there. And I could hang something. And I think I do want to hang something. He's the only one I'm going to hang something on. So I'm going to add a little charm to him. And I've got this little pretty crystal. I thought that would be so pretty. And it's got a little bit of a hook on it. So what I'm going to do is modify that a little bit by untwirling some of it. So I want just enough there to hang. Just going to scrunch it in so it's more decorative, but will still function. I like that. And I'm just going to open up his little hook before I bend it closed all the way and add the charm and close his hook down. Okay, there we go. Got it. Aha, good. So this little guy has a little charm, and I would probably bend his arm up to say, hey, I've got a charm. Okay, this scarf. This was fun. It's just taking some copper wire, very much like I did with the Christmas trees we made. And I get, about a foot or so of it. And I'm going to very simply curl and add beads for his scarf. Bunch of little beads here. And I'm just going to add them as I go. Curling pliers and run the wire around. We've got our curl, then add a bead. Okay, then take the bead and set it right here next to the plier curling part and give it some more curls. Add another bead. This time I'm going to add red. That's what I've got. That's going to be his scarf. So I'm going to take my little snowman and I'm going to lay this around his neck. And then I'm just going to scrunch the beads together. Just twist them around each other. Looks kind of haphazard, but the overall effect is really, really pleasing. So I've got it around his neck and it's hanging down a bit. He's got his scarf. He's got his arms. He's ready to go out and be in the snow. There you have it. Our little short and sweet snowman, ready to hang out wherever you want to hang out because he's very pretty and bright and shiny. So if you like what you've seen here today, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so you know when the next episode of Tweaks with Tweek will be coming along. Until then, like I said, this would make a wonderful decoration or a party favor. Easy to make. Get going on those cluster balls because these are a lot of fun. See you again.
Meow.